Hey guys, we're back with another DSR Farms video, and we've got a huge steak here and we're fixing to make some fajitas with it, so let's get into it. I've got some taco seasoning that I've made here, and this is just pretty much equal parts, just table salt, black pepper, chili powder, ground cumin, and then I forgot to put some garlic powder in there, so also equal parts that. So we'll just say that they're all about a teaspoon or so of that. And then I have about half that much paprika in there. And then I've got some dried Tabasco peppers that I blended up really fine. And I'm just gonna put a pinch in there because they're super hot. No, you don't want to touch that. Just to give it a little heat. And we're gonna mix that up and that'll be our seasoning. Okay, before I slice this, I just wanted you to see this in its entirety. This is an 8-inch cast iron skillet, just for reference, and it hangs off both sides. I mean, it's a huge steak, but I mean, it looks great. It's all tender and stuff, and we're just gonna get into slicing this real quick. All right, before I get started, I did just polish this up. If you saw my knife sharpening video, which will be somewhere like right here, it was already polished. I just ran it across my leather belt a little bit just to get it extra sharp. But I did go ahead, sirloin's a great cut for fajitas because it's super lean. I did remove this little fat cap, which, you know, if you were having steak, that would be fine to leave on because it would crisp up and stuff, but I think it's just gonna get in the way with fajita strips. So I'm gonna go ahead and break these up per muscle group, and then that'll make it easier to slice it against the grain. Okay, so this is a really thick steak. It's probably getting close to an inch. I mean, considering how huge it is, it's really thick. And you can see the grains are kind of running this way, so I'm just gonna slice it about a 1/2 inch thick. I wouldn't go any more than a 1/2 inch just because we're making fajitas and stuff, so we want them to be bite size. And I may wind up cutting this bigger section in half this way just so they're more bite size to fit on the tortillas and stuff. But anyway, that's what we're gonna wind up with, and then we'll get all these in here sliced up and the seasoning added to them. All right, I got all this sliced up, and another good thing about slicing it thin like that is you can find all the silver skin and stuff, connective tissue, and get rid of that. So you should be left with really good cuts of just meat. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle this seasoning in there and give it a little toss so everything gets coated. And I did leave this out for probably an hour before I started cutting it, so it was all, not room temperature, but it just seems like the muscles relax a little bit more when they're warm, and so it's easier to slice and stuff. But I'm gonna leave this sitting, and then we're gonna make some tortillas. Okay, so you can buy flour tortilla mix at like the grocery store. They're in usually the Mexican food section. You may have to go to a couple to find them, but I'm saying a lot. But anyway, so just to compare what store-bought tortillas are to homemade tortillas, it's like frozen pizza versus pizza in a restaurant. To me, anyway, it's just like another level of difference. I don't even know how else to explain it. But anyway, so there's 2 cups of that flour in there, and then I've got a 1/2 cup of warm water. I'm just gonna mix this in until it kind of comes together. And then we're gonna knead this for about 4 or 5 minutes. And we'll come back when I start doing that. All right, I've got this pretty well combined. I'm just gonna turn it out into this floured countertop and just knead it for a couple of minutes till everything comes together. Alright, so I've rolled this out for a couple of minutes and it's not sticky on the outside anymore. I'm just going to roll this into a ball, put it back in this bowl, and cover it with a damp towel. And it's supposed to cover for 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll get some vegetables chopped up. Okay, I've just got a yellow onion here I'm going to slice up pretty fine and then just throw it in with the meat and let it hang out in the marinade while the griddle gets hot here. You could do bell peppers and stuff here too, but we don't like bell peppers, so we're not going to. Okay, I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of non-stick spray and then just turn out the steak and onions on top of this and let these get cooking, and then we'll start rolling out some tortillas. Alright, so I've got these, I'm gonna roll these into about golf ball sized pieces of tortilla dough, and then I'm just gonna roll them out with a rolling pin and get them kind of round, and then we'll get them frying while the meat's cooking too. Alright, and on the other half of this griddle, just hit it with a little non-stick spray. My tortillas come out a little more square than round, but it'll be alright. I'm just going to cook them about 45 seconds aside, flip them over, and they should be done. These kind of start blistering up on the first side, and I just kind of run this around and make sure it's not sticking anywhere, and you can take a peek underneath, and when it starts getting brown, you just flip them over and then cook the other side for about the same amount of time. Okay, so that wound up making about 10 of these tortillas, and like I said, they're a little bit misshapen, but no big deal, because they all look the same tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? So we got that, got these steak and onions, just gonna put on top of that, and they're all good and steamy still. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese on here. And if you wanted to, throw some guacamole or some refried beans or whatever you like on here, a little sour cream, but I'm just gonna keep it simple and put a little bit of salsa on top and call that a day. Yeah, and just in a little bit, you can get some really good steak fajitas out of this. And thanks again to DSR Farms. This looks and tastes amazing. And gonna take a big bite. Y'all enjoy.